Welcome back to Adams Automotive. Today we got quite the project going on. Well, I'll show you that in a second. But we have a KC turbo wheel in my turbo. Got like a little hillbilly polish job. Not looking the best, but it's fine. Got the back pressure valve delete. Pedestal, obviously. That's just part off the truck. We got some bellowed up pipes. That's what we're working on today. It's got parts laying everywhere. What a mess. Over here on the truck, obviously, had to expose more rust. I had to get the plastic liner down to get some of the bolts off the up pipes because they were kind of hard to get out, and I had to get the air chisel in there. So now, for at least next couple months maybe, we gotta look at more rust on this truck. But new fenders should be coming pretty soon, hopefully. Got everything taken out of here. Look, no turbo. But we're all ready to put everything back in, and let's get to it. So I didn't record taking everything apart, like taking the turbo out, putting the wheel in. I kind of just got into it. Didn't really have nobody to record for me, and kind of just got caught up in doing the work and didn't really stop to take the time to record. But I recorded putting everything back in, so it kind of gives you guys, like, if you see how it goes in, you should be able to know how it goes out, kind of. Here's our up pipes. So I took this one off first, and then so I could take this out as one like whole unit. Makes it a little easier. You don't really have to disconnect that piece with the turbo out. You can kind of slide the whole thing up. But now we have to reconstruct that with these new pipes. We got a mess up here, but it shouldn't be too hard. This side goes to the turbo, so we need this curvy one over here, and then that one with like a little angle in it on this side. So we got our gasket in here and our bolts snugged up. Got them like as tight as you can get them. They won't break. You don't have to worry about that. But to get this back in here, you're just gonna slide it. Yeah, there we go. Now you guys can see. Just slide it back down where it came from. You see how it kind of fell down there? That's okay, because I'm gonna go down either in the wheel well or underneath the truck, and then show you guys where the bolts are at, and then we can do the other side from up here. All right, so this is the passenger side of the truck. You can see your exhaust here, and that's your starter. If you look up, here's your manifold, and then there's that pipe I just dropped down. You have one bolt kind of like against the motor side, and then if you take your wheel liner out, there's another bolt like opposite, like right in the opposite side of the pipe. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I barely started, there we go, barely started the nut on there. So it's like flush with the threads, but as you can see, there's still some threads in between. So then we have some play up top. So when we go to put a turbo in, it makes it a lot easier to hook the back up, the back of the exhaust to the turbo. So then you can wiggle it a little bit. Otherwise, if you tighten everything up, it gets too stiff and you're gonna be fighting it. It's not gonna be fun. So this is the driver's side. Same, oh, that's a bright light. Same thing, we have, well, there, that light's kind of killing it. But right there we have our manifold and our new up pipe, and it goes up to the other piece of pipe we just put in. But what I'm gonna do here is leave, oh, that light's killing it again. I'm gonna leave these bottom bolts out for a second, go up here, put the gasket and those two bolts in, so then we have the gasket in there, and then come back down and put these bottom bolts in, because otherwise you put these bottom ones in, it's gonna be hard to get that gasket lined up and sealed right, and you'll have a exhaust leak right next to your firewall and you'll hear it. Okay, so we're gonna grab one big and one little seal for the pedestal. These will be for the bottom side where the oil feeds up into it. And you do have another big and small one for the turbo, but we're not there yet. So we're gonna take, oh, it's gonna be hard to do with one hand, a little bit of oil, and just get some oil over them seals. I'll probably do that in between cuts real quick, just to make sure they're nice and sealed up. It just helps them have a better seal, kind of helps them stick too. It's like stick to where you put them. And yeah, so once we get these seals, I'll show you where they go in the truck, and then we'll be able to bolt your pedestal down. And then the next step will be putting your turbo back on and hooking all the hardware up. Okay, so if you're looking at the motor here, right there are my brown seals I just put in, up pipes right in front of it, the brown seals. You're gonna take your new turbo pedestal here, and you can see those are where the seals are gonna seal up to, that hole and that hole. So that's the back, towards the back of the truck. This is towards the front. Put it down. Mine didn't come with new bolts for this, which is okay, because most of the time they're pretty oiled up from oil leaks. But also quick hint, watch out for the hood latch. It'll get you where you don't want it to. But we're gonna come in here, slide down in the motor, and it should, oh, it's kind of shaky recording, but there we go. Kind of drop in like that. You gotta kind of double check, make sure your seals are lined up, because you want that to seal very nice. And then we'll get that bolted in, and the turbo should be next. Okay, so we got the exhaust clamp on the downpipe here, but it's not on the lip yet, so the turbo can still mount up without fighting that ring. And we get the same thing for the up pipes here. So now we gotta wiggle it down in here, and we have 2 more seals to put right there and there. Kind of exactly the same how you did it on the bottom. Just let them sit there, and then when you put your turbo down, make sure you didn't crush them, move them out of the way. You know, you want them to stay there. Then we have 1 and 2 bolts. I believe those are 14s. They gave me new bolts for those. So we'll get the turbo in and let's get her done. Before we put this in, here's the factory Ford turbo wheel. The 9-blade. It's kind of short, as you can see. The new one comes out at I think the end of here, and then it has a nut on top. Here's the new one. It's KC turbo drop-in billet wheel, 6x6. They're like specialty 7.3 blade or something like that. It's supposed to lower EGT, spool faster, create more boost, you know, all your good stuff, clean or burn cleaner. So yeah, we have that in there. And then deleted the valve, which is right here. So this on your turbo, when your truck's cold, it closes to create more back pressure and help it warm up faster. Kind of like an exhaust brake, but not, they don't use it for like an exhaust brake. But as you can see, even when it's open, it takes up a lot of air space in there, so you can't push as much volume. And also this sensor right there in the old pedestal will go bad sometimes, and you'll be driving down the road and it'll close on you, and you lose like a lot of the power from the motor, kind of just sluggish. But here's the real big problem with these, and kind of the main reason why I'm doing mine. This is the old pedestal, and this is the valve, I guess you'd call it, that controls this. And as you can see, it just leaks oil everywhere. So a lot of guys will have oil dripping down like the back of their motor, kind of in the back of the oil pan and the front end transmission. They're like, where's it coming from? Well, a lot of the times it's coming up top from this. That seal blows out, which, yeah, you can get a new one with the valve if you want to keep your back pressure valve. But a lot of guys like me just delete them. I do live in a colder climate, but I mean, I have a high auto switch in my hydro tuner, so I shouldn't need that valve all that much. But let's get this bad boy with this like janky kind of, that's a good like 50-footer polish job. I don't know what I was doing. But anyway, let's get this thing thrown in and let's get to it. We got the clamp on the up pipes and the clamp on the exhaust downpipe. So the turbo's all bolted up, so now we're gonna go back underneath the truck and we're gonna finish bolting our up pipes where we left them loose last time. All right, next we're putting this intake back on. We got the 2 bottom ones here, which go to them orange boots to your valley of the motor. And then we have to hook the wires and the plugs back up. And then obviously the rest of the boots and intercooler pipes. All right, so we got everything back together. Intercooler pipes, intake, air filter, battery. So I'll hop in the truck here and I record the first start, and it should sound good. I don't know how much of a difference it'll make Maybe a little bit more whistle, but we'll see here in a minute. All right, we got everything installed. I took it for a little drive. Definitely a lot more rowdy. It builds a lot more boost. You know, even the snow definitely whips you sideways. You guys can hear it right now. That's a lot more whistle than it used to have. And when you're going through town and stuff, the whistle bounces off the town or the stores, and it sounds pretty good. Be putting a boost gauge in pretty soon to see what the numbers are. But I hope that helps, and like and subscribe.